Hey there friends, this is Pete with Aerobeez.com. In this review, we will take a look at the 32-inch Aerobeez Stinger wing and the Angry Bee wing. We will also show you what comes out of the box, and then from there, we're actually going to jump right into a build review. There won't be a lot of fancy editing in this. This is a straightforward instructional build and what to expect when you purchase one of these little wings that come from Aerobeez.com. First of all, this is in the what we call the plug and play area. You provide your own receiver and your own battery, and everything else is included. And these wings are just, they're amazingly fun. They're so much fun. You can take them anywhere, fly them at any time. Basically, they can fly out a really small area. And they're made out of EPP foam. So we're gonna go and jump into the build review, but first let's go ahead and show you what comes out of the box and what to expect with these wings. And definitely we will also take a look at the necessary tools, what's included, and what you possibly may need. Okay, first of all, this is the Stinger wing. And when you get this, there's only a very limited amount of pieces for the actual main wing itself. So, having said that, we have a pair of scissors here. What to expect will be, you will be receiving this is basically your right wing, and then your left wing. And all the foam pieces are here, and then your winglets, your vertical stabilizers, basically we call them your winglets. The build time on one of these is just absolutely, like, extremely short. It's all about building this as quickly as you can, getting out there and having a lot of fun. We actually got these wings into the hands of a few of our team pilots, and they're going to show you a couple of variations of what they're going to do with their wings, because there's a standard way to build it, which is out of the box with these electronics, and which we will go into the build. These guys are hot rodders, and they're going to actually put some different motors on there, show you a couple of different variations on how to mount things, but that will be later on to come here. So these two are the halves of the wings, and EPP foam, and you have your carbon spar basically already ran all the way down the center line of the main wing to keep it nice and rigid. It is a flat carbon that runs all the way down the center line, so that's pretty much ready to go. And for those that still do not know what EPP foam is, it's very resilient to crashing, to tumbles, so that's what makes one of these like a great vehicle if you're actually learning how to fly and or just having fun. We're gonna get a bunch of these in the air, make some different videos where we're just gonna be combating each other and knocking each other out of the air. EPP foam, this stuff is really durable. Okay, let's go ahead and take up this next piece here. Okay, this will be your bag with the included glue, push rods for your servos to your delta wing mixing, your ailerons, and your little prop here that's included. The prop actually is held on by what we call a rubber O-ring prop saver, and what the benefits there are, if you have a tumble, if you land not so nicely, the prop would actually give away and pop off instead of breaking the propeller every single time. So that's always a bonus there. Okay, let's grab that. And in these packages here, we have your tiny little brushless outrunner, a little 5-amp brushless ESC, and then your two little, I think they're 8-gram servos, I think, or 5-gram. I'm not sure. I got to check on the specs once again, but the servos are included. And that's pretty much it with your electronics here, and your O-ring, and your little safety adapter for the prop there. And the very limited pieces, once again, what you see here, this is just your motor box. This will be sitting, as you can see, with the two samples that I've already built and actually did the flying review for already. This sits on top of the main wing joiner in the center, and then your motor actually mounts to this, and your receiver can be mounted underneath this with the ESC, or if you choose to, you could actually just mount it on top. Depending on how you want to run it, there's a couple of different ways to actually do it. What this is here is, I didn't install this on these two. This goes on the center line of the bottom of the flying wings here. And what that does is it provides a handheld area where you can actually grab it and hand launch. I typically just grab it by the wingtip and then toss him. And this is also a preventative piece that will keep your prop from striking the ground every single time. So it gives you a little bit of clearance between the bottom of the airplane and and the propeller. So that's something that's optional if you choose to install it or not. But in this build, I'm definitely sure we're probably going to actually go ahead and install that. As far as avionics, radios are concerned, there's a lot of wide variety of radios on the market. For this build here, we are choosing to use the Hi-Tech Aurora 9X. And then we're going to use a little Hi-Tech Optima receiver. These receivers are extremely small. They're very slim. So we can actually just tuck it all the way underneath of the motor box there. So with that, I think we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about the tools that we need. Everything is pretty much included in here, but you do need some basic necessary tools that'll make your build a lot easier. Of course, we always have our handy dandy hobby knife. Once again, be very careful. Hobby knives are extremely sharp. That's something always good to have. A pair of scissors, a little Phillips head screwdriver to mount your servo horns onto your servos. Always good to have some CA super glue. With EPP foam, regular super glue is safe on it, so you can use it. However, I always suggest that if you're going to be using a glue that you've never used it before, definitely turn your wing upside down, try a little spot on it, make sure it doesn't eat away at the foam, and then if it doesn't, you can go ahead and use CA on it. But as far as I know, I've used CA on mostly all the EPP stuff, and they've actually adhered just fine. So that's something good to have. And then of course, if you want to use some accelerator for your CA, that's good too. The included glue here, I'll talk a little bit about. What this glue is basically, it's like your rubber contact cement. You can choose to use this glue, which actually works just fine, or a lot of us choose to use different types of glues, and I'll give you an option. And the option is this glue here. This glue is called Foam Tack, and this is made by Beacon. Your local hobby retailers usually do carry this. I know that Hobby People does carry this right from the counter. This glue is extremely strong and it stays extremely flexible. With any kind of repairs with the build, this glue is excellent. If you cannot find this glue, there's another glue that comes in a tube, and it's called Welders, and I believe Lowe's and a couple of hardware stores sell that as well. So for today's build, we will probably just use the glue that's included, so I can show you what exactly to do and what to expect. On the flip side, if you want to use foam tack, this is always something good to have in your arsenal. All right, let's go ahead and bring the camera in. Oh, little plane or stinger just came off there. Let's go ahead and bring the camera in here now once again, and we're gonna go ahead and start our build.